Stand up, please, and say I am free. Don't forget you are welcome home, welcome home.
Jafric Radio.
Come with me on this happy trip back to the promised land. All will be happy and good. Come with me on this happy trip back to the promised land.
You're listening to Home Sweet Home on Jafric Radio. You're listening to Home Sweet Home on Jafric Radio.
Jafric Radio. Jafric Radio.
You're listening to Home Sweet Home on Jafric Radio.
You are always welcome home, welcome home.
Your online radio. The new online radio that makes you happy.
Been kept down for much too long. Stand up, please, and say I am free. Don't forget you are welcome home, welcome home.
Jafric Radio.
Come with me on this happy trip back to the promised land. All will be happy and good. Come with me on this happy trip back to the promised land.
You're listening to Home Sweet Home on Jafric Radio. You're listening to Home Sweet Home on Jafric Radio.
Jafric Radio. Jafric Radio.
You're listening to Home Sweet Home on Jafric Radio.
You are always welcome.
Hello, our wonderful and cherished viewers and listeners. Thank you so much for tuning in to Jafric Radio, Home Sweet Home program, your favorite. Yes, we thank you so very much. We are sorry we are late for some minutes. It's due to some circumstances that was beyond our control, and now everything has been put in order. We just want to say thank you so much for always being here with us, with your ideas, with your knowledge to support this program to make it a successful. We just want to say thank you so very much. And one thing we want you to do right now is that if you have joined us, what we want you to do is just send the message to your friends and loved ones. Send the link and let them join us, because we have a lot to offer you today. We have a lot to tell you today that will help and build your marriage. I tell you all the time that we have only one motive, and the motive is simple, is that we want every marriage couple enjoy the second heaven on earth in their marriage. Last time I heard, I think it's the Pentecost chairman, he said something. He said, don't let your marriage be a hell on earth. Yes, so we shouldn't allow our marriages to go through hell whilst we are on earth. No, we want to enjoy the second heaven on earth here. So all the things that will help us to build our marriage, to make our marriage work and become solid, so that each and every one would enjoy the beauty and the glory in marriage, we will enjoy. So thank you for tuning in to Jafric Radio. Let me also acknowledge the sponsors who made this program possible all the time. It's Bayside Modeling Agency. Bayside Modeling Agency is right here in Tokyo, Omotesando. So if you are a foreigner in Japan and you have the skills of acting and also modeling, or you are a model, yes, all that we want you to do is just send a message to Bayside in this email address, info@bay-side.biz. All that you need to do is to write that you want to register with Bayside, and the staff will quickly attend to you and also send you the requirements that they need in order to process your registration. All right, or you can contact Bayside Modeling Agency on this number. It's 0354133252. Yes, it's on the screen right now if you are watching us, so you can see them and call us as soon as you hear this information. All right, thank you so very much. And we want to also acknowledge Turmeric Hotel. Turmeric Hotel is in Ghana. It's at East Legon. Yes, and I tell you, the environment is superb. I cannot even talk about it. I have been there before, and I'm telling you, it's like living in small heaven. Yes, so if you are outsider and you want to travel to Ghana, we recommend to you the Turmeric Hotel, because they have this serene atmosphere that you will enjoy your stay in Ghana, and it's close to the airport, so your access to the airport is really convenient. So if you are a foreigner and you want a place to lodge, you need a place to lodge, just go to Turmeric Hotel. And if you need more information, just go to their website and contact them. It's www.turmerichotel.com. It's at East Legon in Ghana. And some of you who also want to do your parties and also honeymoons, and you have like conferences, they have a big conference hall to host a lot of people. So inside Ghana, if you want to do your program too, you can also visit Turmeric Hotel. Or if you want to go and enjoy home away from home, you can still go to Turmeric Hotel at East Legon in Accra. Thank you so very much. Jafric Radio is really appreciating your effort so much for always tuning into Jafric Radio. And once again, we want to thank you for joining us in this program, Home Sweet Home. Before I'll introduce to you the topic, I would like to introduce our guests. Let me just pause a little, and then we introduce to you the topic before I introduce the guest to you. The topic for today, I think this year we've done a lot. It's similar topics, and a lot of people are requesting for us to go over and over again, so that it will help. Yes, the topic for discussion today is causes of divorce. Causes, just listen carefully. Causes of divorce and how to prevent them. We see the causes, and we also see how to prevent those causes to ensure sustainability in marriages. So after we have seen the causes, we also focus on the prevention, how to prevent those causes. And then as we prevent them, we ensure the sustainability in our marriages. Yes, we have so many causes that can trigger our marriages to break down or to break down. So we are going to look at the common causes that people overlooked, and at the end, all that we see is regret, because most of the people that have divorced, if you go to them and sincerely, they will tell you that they regretted ever doing that. They regretted not to fix their marriage whilst they have the chance to do so. Right? So, we are going to look at that, the causes. So, if you have joined us, your comment is really, really important to us. So, just send us your comments and also your contribution, yes, to the topic that we are discussing, causes of divorce. What cause do you know? Have you seen a lot of people who have divorced? All right, so we are going to talk about it, the causes. Now we see a lot of divorce in our modern society, and people feel okay, feel so much okay, and they don't, most of them doesn't care. All that we can
This
say
is Jafric Radio.
life, and I choose to do whatever pleases me. But don't forget that, especially the marriages that have children, kids in it, when divorce set in, it causes a lot of emotional trauma for the kids. Yes, others go through a lot. Others may even find themselves in psychiatric homes. The kids, if you have a very sensitive child who try to ask more questions and without getting answers to it, it becomes a very big problem for them. So this evening in Japan time here, we are going to look at some of the causes, and also not leaving the causes alone, we will also talk about the prevention, how to prevent those causes to ensure that we stay in our marriages no matter what. All right, so once I have opened the whole thing to you right now, you can send your comments, and my DJ just helped me to go straight to Chiba. I have my special guest of honor for today's program, that she is really, really a wonderful woman of God, and also knowledgeable when it comes to marriage. Yes, and she is a wife also, not just a wife but a virtuous one. All right, so let me have an honor to introduce to you my own sister. Yes, is the person of Dickness Naomi Asare Zotto. Yes, most of you know her. Yes, and the way she speaks. One guy said, if this mama doesn't have a husband, I would have rushed to her. Even her speech alone. So, mommy, you are welcome.
Thank you very much, Dickness Bowman. Thank you so much.
Hello, mom. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear. Can you also hear me? Please, can you hear me?
Oh, yes. Now I can hear. Okay, please go ahead.
All right. Thank you very much for having me. I'm always at your service.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you. Right, so you have seen our mommy. Yeah. Yes, so mommy, straight away, today it's between me and you. Yes, women 10. The men couldn't come to defend themselves.
Wow.
So today we will give to them and let them come and defend themselves next week. Okay, so we are looking at the causes of divorce and how to prevent them to ensure sustainability in our marriages.
Okay.
Yes, I know that we have a lot of causes, but what I want us to focus much on how to prevent them. Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
we just need the solution much. Yeah, but we cannot get solution without knowing the cause. So identifying the cause is really very important. And also we will look at how to prevent them in order to ensure sustainability in our marriages or to ensure sustainable marriage. All right. So, Mommy, the ball is now rolling in your court.
Okay. Thank you so much, Dickness Foma, and I also thank our cherished viewers for always making time to listen to us. And it is our hope that gradually, as you listen, the little that we say will go along with shape your marriage, so that the joy that we are supposed to have in our marriage will be able to have it. So thank you always for joining us. Straight to the point. Recently,
Right.
if you look on you hear the news, research, and so many things, it attests to the fact that marriage or the marriage relationship is also under distinct. Yeah, it is getting out, let me say, getting out molded, or it's an endangered institution. The marriage, family life is highly endangered. Yes, many people don't want to get into marriage because we, those who are already in it, we are not showing good example, or we are not making the relationship or the constitution of marriage look attractive to them. So they see it as a burden. So they don't want to even enter into it. Yeah, and all this, I would say that it is all the plans of the evil ones. Anything that is part of God, then it is a very, let me say, something that the devil always wants to fight.
It's a threat to the enemy. Yeah.
Exactly. And when we take this topic of divorce, yes, it is happening very, very fast, rapidly. It is happening here and there. You can even hear some people getting married today, and the next day they are already thinking of divorcing each other, getting a divorce, which is very, very alarming. And we need to protect our marriages against such things. And as our moderator said, today we want to talk about causes of divorce and how to overcome it, or solutions that we can use to overcome divorce. One of the things that causes divorce, I would say, is unfaithfulness.
Unfaithfulness, right?
Unfaithfulness. They are not faithful to their husbands or their wives due to so many reasons. A man might not be faithful to the wife because the wife is no more attractive to them as they feel unattractiveness. So maybe because of that, the man will try to go and look elsewhere. Like maybe your look, most of the time, this one, they associate it with the ladies. That maybe we don't care about important things that are important to them. Yeah, our husband, like our looks, our weight, our interest in sex, and many other things. Most of the time we get married, then many things that we used to do to attract each other we try to leave them on many. And when it happens that way, then this unfaithfulness also comes in. And another thing that causes this unfaithfulness that I was talking about is lack of communication. Lack of
Right.
communication. Yes, in our marriage relationship, we see each other as magicians. Okay, my wife should know what I am thinking and should know how I am feeling. My husband should know what I'm thinking and he should know how I am feeling. So I feel that even if I don't say it, my husband or my wife should know, which will never happen. It is only God who knows the minds and the hearts of human beings. But a fellow human being can never know what you are thinking or what you want the other person to do for you unless you voice it out. Yes, there are some who would know, but most of them, without communication, it is very difficult to be able to know that. So, lack of communication is one of the things that causes unfaithfulness that leads to divorce. That leads to divorce. And when it comes to this aspect that I want to talk about, like infrequent sexual intercourse between couples, all other relationships, one thing that is so unique from the marriage relationship is sex. Okay, any other thing you can do
Right.
it with your parents, with your friends, but when it comes to the sexual relationship, it is specially made for couples, and it is sexual relationship or sexual intercourse. It is something that glue the marriage together, that glue the two of you together. So the more it becomes infrequent, then you two are getting apart gradually. And it might also lead one party to go and seek for satisfaction elsewhere. And when this comes to light, it might also lead to divorce. To divorce. And some other thing is lack of fellowship. Lack of fellowship. This is also something that brings unfaithfulness. We are not ready to fellowship with our spouses, but when we go out, we meet our friends. We feel free to do so many things that we should have done with our spouses, but we don't do that. So unfaithfulness, which some of the things that I talked about, when we don't check it, it might go a long way to lead to divorce. And another thing also is lack of fear of God. You see, that causes divorce. Most people, they don't fear God. Okay. And I was speaking to one man of God who is a marriage counselor, and he was saying that, especially he was advising wives that we wives, we have little to do to change our husbands. The most important thing he was advising we should do is we should try as much as possible to 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 uh to talk to God so that he makes our husband fear him. If the fear of God is in each other, we fear God. There are so many things we will not do, because when you fear
That's
God,
true.
when you love God, you are going to do what he likes and you are going to avoid what he doesn't like. But most of the
Yeah.
time, because of lack of the fear of God, we do so many things and we don't care. We don't care. We just do it sometimes just for fun, or I don't know the right words to use, but lack of the fear of God. One thing that I have realized in my own life is that the closer you get to God, the more closer you get to your partner. That is what I have experienced. I realize that the more I get closer to God, the more I fellowship with God, the more I spend time on His Word, the more I try to do what His Word says, the closer I get with my husband, and the love increase. Yes, the love that I have for him, it's increased as much as I'm getting closer to God. Then that love, that connection is growing, gradually. So one of the things that the thing leads to divorce is lack of the fear of God. Yeah, I think I'll end here. Maybe you have some.
Yes. Thank you so very much. The points that you have raised, all of them are really essential to look into it. Talking of the fellowship, a friend of mine said he has zero tolerance for women who worship their pastors, bow down to them, and disrespect their husbands. Yeah, it's really things like that really happening. We have fellowship with our friends. We can do everything, love, show respect, show care when they need them. But when it comes to our wives and our husbands, it becomes another thing. Yeah, and when it happens like that, no human being born of a woman would take it light, or the person would appreciate. No. So thank you so much for raising all these points. Just as you said about the communication too, I think in some of the messages that we have sent or the topics that we have discussed, we know that communication, we keep on mentioning communication in our marriages, which I think is really important. Just as Mama said, your husband or your wife is not a magician. If you do not say it, it will be difficult for the person to think for you. Yeah, others will say we have been in a relationship for years and you can attest what I can on what I cannot do. That is true, that is correct. Yes, when you stay so long with someone, you may know their ways, but there are certain things you cannot figure out for them unless you speak out. The other person would not know or cannot do. So communication, as Mama has said, is really important. Yes, so lack of communication that Mommy is saying is I can say is the major cause, yeah, of divorce in our age. Yeah, so let's also look into it so deep. If we feel shy, or I don't know, it looks uncomfortable for us to communicate with our partners, then we need to look into it very carefully in order not to destroy the marriage that we are in. And one thing that I want to add to what Mommy has already said about the unfaithfulness is our past relationships that we want to bring into our presence, relationships that we have. Others may go in some relationships that they think it was working well with them, they love their partners so well, and for some reasons when the breakup comes and when they got into a new relationship or when they married, most of them begin to think about the things that they did with those that they have break up with, the exes, and they wanted to bring into their present marriage, and it caused a lot of frictions in the marriage. Yeah, so we just want to also look into it so deeply. Yeah, and talk about it because we've seen a lot of people that they say in Chi that I don't know the English. You see, Gentia Dada, and Chene Jatum. Na so in order not to dwell in the past is already gone,
This is Jafric
and we need to
Radio.
focus on our present. So those experiences that we have in the past, we need to just allow it to lay as a past and not bringing it into our present life, our present marriage that we are in. The other time I said a deaconess of a church who had experience, and she was sharing her experience that the ex that he had, he loved him so much, but for obvious reasons they couldn't marry, and he married another person, and after their marriage the ex traveled and he came back, and as soon as he saw him he couldn't control herself, and she just went to a hotel to spend a whole day with the ex whilst the husband was waiting for her at home. Yes, so these things are also we need to look into it so much and see the way to prevent them in order not to destroy the beautiful marriages that we have. Yes. So, mommy, in a part of unfaithfulness, how can we prevent them?
Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you. You're welcome.
On the part of unfaithfulness, you see, divorce, well, I don't know how maybe divorce is a very painful incident that I pray don't see as a solution, a positive solution to a troubled marriage. I think we should take divorce up and look for other alternatives, because divorce, no matter how it looks, it goes a long way to affect both parties, because it's like two papers that have been glued together. You want to try to separate the two, by all means. You can't separate the people. By all means, each and one will get in one way or the other. So it is something that we see as a solution to a troubled marriage. What are some of the things, or how do we foster faithfulness in marriage? Though it seems I talked about it. Fear God and be obedient to His word. That is, to me, number one thing that we can do to foster faithfulness or to prevent unfaithfulness in our marriage. We should fear God and be obedient to His word. And number two, be prayerful, because life is spiritual. Life is not about physical, life is also spiritual. So as when it comes to the physical aspects, like maybe not looking attractive, we can change the way we can change our mind about our appearance, how we should appear to our spouses. And as life is also spiritual, we need to be prayerful. A couple who pray together always stay together. And there are so many things that prayer does. Yes, there are so many things that prayer does. So we need to be prayerful. And not only one person, but the two of us. The two of us, both of you, needs to be prayerful. And when it comes to maybe church activities, we should always try as much as possible to be active activities. And also developing close relationships with the opposite sex, I think we need to have borders. We need to have borders because there are temptations all around. He said the devil is rolling like a lion, looking for who to devour. And as we all know that marriage is the heartbeat of God, and the same way it is a threat to Satan. So he's always going around our marriages, our family, to find a loophole. So one of the things that we can do to avoid such, to know our boundaries when it comes to dating to the opposite sex. Okay. And another cause of divorce that I didn't talk about is childlessness. Childlessness. Some people get divorced because after the marriage, they are unable to have children. They are unable to have children. So most of the time, can also lead to divorce. But we should remember that your spouse will be what God wants him or her to be. Okay? And children are gifts from God. So the right person we go to when it comes to this aspect is to ask God. And God does things in its time. Maybe to me, when it comes to childlessness, after reading the Bible too, I realized that the women that went through the trouble of childlessness, or the women or couples that had difficulty in having children, those people gave birth to miracles, or how will I say it? Is it wonders? Wonders. Yes, the children that they brought forth are they were all heard of, all those children. When we talk of Sarah, how they struggled before they gave birth to Isaac, through the child that all nations have been blessed. When we talk of the Samuels, how the mother struggled. Because what I understood is that maybe childlessness, it means that the Lord is preparing a very big miracle for you, that when they land, the world will hear of it. So as maybe you are going through the trouble of childlessness, my advice is it shouldn't lead to divorce. God is preparing something big for you. But because the thing that he's preparing for you is so big, is going to take much of your time.
Yeah, much time. Exactly.
So now that they are not yet here, you need to prepare for it. You need to develop that kind of bonding, so that when the miracle comes and it's taking so much of your time to input what the Lord expects you to do, when it comes, already you have created the bond, you have created the love, that together you'll be able to work on the miracle, the wonder that God has given you. Yes, so to me, when yes, it is difficult.
This is Jafric Radio.
Or it will be a challenging situation that you get married. People, especially the pressure from society, the pressure from
Yeah,
family,
sometimes the pressure. Yeah, you could see that you might not even have problem with your spouse, but the pressure from outside, the friends, the church members, the family. Yeah, so I think that we need to also let the other people know that they are not magics to just perform their magics and bring the child. Yeah.
Most last I was saying, it is very hard. It is really, really hard to go through such challenges. But one thing that I know for sure, we should, as Christians, we are a step ahead of non-believers. Okay, we Christians.
Yes.
Because what we need to think about is who is on our side. We should just forget about the people that are against us and focus on the person who is on our side. And so, if the Lord be for us, who can be against us? That be our most important thing. If it is the will of God, you are doing all that is expected of you as a child of God, and you know that God is on your side. The pressure will come, but don't give heed to it. You just let it go. It might come, but once God is on your side, just keep going. And at its own time, that miracle, that wonder that He's preparing, it will come. And when it comes, it is going to erase all the talking, all the pressure, all the stress that came to you. So when it comes to childlessness, especially this one, I will plead with the husband. Please have faith in your wife. Have patience. It was through Abraham that Isaac came. Because Abraham saw the people coming and he said, these people are special people. Because he was able to invite them into his house, then Sarah had that miracle. So as the priest of your house, much of the solution to the problem of childlessness lies on the men. That's why most of the time the pressure comes to them most, because the family will say, hey, you don't know you are growing. The mother will say, hey, I want a grandchild, though. You see that now, very soon I will die. I need to carry my grandchildren. What are you doing? They pump it into the minds of the husbands, and they also put the pressure on their wives. And if God is not on our side, that indeed to divorce. So husband, please help your wife. Pray together so that the wonder that God is prepared, it will come. That will all give glory to God. So we shouldn't let divorce be a solution of troublesome marriage. So this is about unfaithfulness. Some of the things that we could do about unfaithfulness, and maybe to also talk about the sexual aspect, right, as much as possible.
Yeah, as for the sexual aspect, I think we will come back on that. We will go on commercial break at 5 p.m.
Okay.
And when we come back, we will let Mommy talk so much about it. Yes, because it's also the major cause of divorce in our modern society that we are in now. Right.
Yeah, so we need to be very active. And you see sometimes too, we, as you said, we talk about that more when we come back. I would like to concentrate on some. We try to always wear our ring. This I will send it to our husband. Most of the time I don't know why, but they avoid wearing it. That one too, it also paves a way. It's opened them up to some of this. So
Yeah, Mommy, can you come again, because I think your network is not okay. So if you can.
Okay, what I was trying to say is that we should try as much as possible to always wear our wedding rings.
Okay.
Yeah, we should try as much as possible, especially when it comes to maybe the Western side. They respect that once a man or a woman is having his or her wedding ring, then it is sending a signal that the place is no go zone.
Yeah, it's already occupied. A no-go zone.
No-go zone. Yeah, it is making that go. Some people are so hardened that they'll even tell you, I am not coming because of your ring.
Yeah, even nowadays the side chicks, they prefer the married men than the unmarried men. Oh.
Because they are
they are more responsible, and two, they don't have much time to spend with them, so they can also have their way to maneuver and do certain things.
May God have mercy on this generation.
I tell you, Mom.
May God has.
Mercy is the true word that this generation needs. Yeah. Mommy, before we go, for instance, we are talking of those who have married in Christ, or let's say Christians, and let's also consider the other part. I think this is also sending a signal to them that when you come to Christ, or when you fellowship with God, there are certain things that is easier for you to get them. In for example, when you pray to God, He will come to your rescue. But let's talk about those, for those who have or who do not know Christ, but they have married and they are going through some challenges in their marriage. What advice are we giving to them?
Okay, thank you very much. So maybe one thing we should get straight is that marriage is from God. Okay? Marriage is from God. So whether the person is a Christian or the person is not a Christian, once they are married, God's eyes, yes, God's eyes is on them. So one thing that I would say is, let us try as much as possible to them. We have responsibilities and duties. So let us be mindful of things that is expected of us. Wives and husbands. Okay. Yet come to the Christian aspect. We have a step ahead because we have somebody who is always there to help us. The Holy Spirit is always there to help us, always there to direct us, always there to show us so many things. But those that are not being know about the Holy Spirit, and the Spirit is also there. But the more you are doing your duties and your responsibilities, since God is the initiator of marriage comes from Him. As you are living up your duties and your responsibilities, the blessings that is supposed for married couples, for marriages to have, you will surely have it. Yes, when it rains, it doesn't rain on only the believers. It rains
exactly
on believers and unbelievers. So what I will only say is that we all have responsibilities. Do unto others what you want others to do unto you. You love the person, that's why you married him or
This is Jafric Radio.
So before you married, you might know what the person likes and what the person doesn't like. You might know what you are supposed to do and what you are not supposed to do. So if we are all mindful of that and we live up to everything, I think that reign of marriage will reign upon everybody. Enjoy our marriages and God. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you so much, Mommy. Yes, we have a lot of messages that has come, but okay, some of them we need to discuss. So we will go on commercial break, and when we come back, we will also discuss about them. Yeah, I think some people has raised a very important points also that we need to look into it. Right, so we will go on break and we will come back very soon. So viewers, stay tuned, don't go away, enjoy the song that is coming. We will come back to you soon. Thank you so much, Mommy. Thank you.
Jafric Radio. This is Jafric Radio. This is Jafric Radio. This is Jafric Radio. Jafric Radio, radio. This is Jafric Radio.
Oh, God, don't put us to shame and don't allow our enemies to rejoice over us. This is the song that played at the background. I love them so much. May the Lord look into the marriage that He instituted and do something about it, because the way things are going, instituted if and do some immediate measures are not being taken, the generation to come may not see the importance of marriage. Yeah, that's why we are here, to talk about them that God created marriage to be a place of comfort or an institution of love and unity. Yeah, so we need to ensure that the plan of God concerning marriage is established. Yeah, that's why we are having this home sweet home, that you will enjoy a second heaven on earth in your marriage. Welcome back, viewers. We want to thank you so much for tuning into Jafric Radio. Don't forget that Bayside Modeling Agency is the proud sponsor for Home Sweet Home program, and also the Turmeric Hotel in Ghana at East Legon. And we are also giving the opportunity for those of you who are out there and you want to sponsor this program. The door is open for you, so please come and be of help. Thank you so very much. Yes, we have the comments that has come from our able and wonderful listeners. Thank you so much for your time. I will go straight. Pastor Jemfi, Emmanuel Jemfi is watching us right now. Pastor, God bless you so much for tuning into Home Sweet Home program. Yes, we have our brother Skilo Jets. He said, it's not easy, brother. It's true. Yes, and he said, welcome back, big man. Right. I don't know, maybe the big man in the studio that I have with me that he's talking about. Thank you so very much. Yes, and we have William Cranche. He said, greetings from Odaiba. All right. Uncle Williams, thank you so much. Our brother Apia Cornelius. Bro, hi. Thank you so very much for your contribution all the time. We do appreciate them. Thank you so much. Our brother says, these are some of the causes of divorce. Number one, he mentioned conflict. 2, arguing. Irretrievable breakdown in the relationship. The conflict and arguing. He said lack of commitment. Infidelity. Yeah, talking of infidelity is extramarital affairs. You are in marriage and you have girlfriend outside. That's what he is talking about. And he said distance in a relationship. Yes. And also lack of physical intimacy. He's talking about the distance relationship. Yeah, it causes so much lack of physical intimacy. And he made mention of communication problems, just as Mama Naomi has already said communication problems between the partners. Domestic violence. And he mentioned verbal, physical or emotional abuse by a partner. I think he has said a lot. Domestic violence. Mommy, I just want us to look into what our brother Cornelius has said. The last point, talking of the domestic violence, be the physical, verbal, or emotional abuse in our marriages. We will look into it. But before then, before we went on commercial break, I think Mommy was talking about the sex aspect in our marriage. So I want you to continue, and then after that we will come back to the points that our brother has raised. Yes. Okay, Mommy, are you there? Okay. I think the network is causing a lot of difficulty here. Yeah, but we will continue because you are here with me. I am not alone in this room. I have your full support. Yeah. So before Mommy will come, yeah, we will look into she's already here. Okay, Mommy, I just want you to continue from where you stopped before we went on commercial break. You were talking about lack of sex is also the major cause of divorce in our marriages these days, let me say. Yeah, in the olden times, it was real to see these things happening, but nowadays it's rampant, so we need to also look into it. So Mommy, right, I hand over to you. Hello. Oh, I think Mama Naomi's network is giving us a little problem. Yeah. All right. So before, let's also talk about the abuse, domestic violence. Yes, before I go to Mama Naomi, because viewers, sorry, we are having problem on her network. Yeah, so I need to continue here. Yeah, on the top point that our brother Cornelius has raised on domestic violence as one of the causes of divorce nowadays. And some of these domestic violence, even some pastors agree that if the other partner is causing those abuse, we need to separate the marriage in order to ensure peace. Yeah, just separate them and come back again when those things has been corrected. Right. But Mama Naomi has come, so I will stop here and go to for her to continue on the top points that he raised about lack of sex in our marriages that causes divorce. Yeah. So Mom, please.
Hello.
Thank you. Right. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. Sorry.
Yeah, Mommy, I think you are too far away from your camera.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you can go on your right or left, a little, push a little to. Yeah, good. Okay. And if you can make brighter a little.
Okay.
Oh, you can bring your camera down. Oh, good. Yeah, it's working.
Okay.
That's perfect, mommy. Please.
All right.
Mm.
Yeah. So as I was saying, yes, there was a problem with very sorry for the yeah. So before we went, to the topic, we were talking some of the that we could do to prevent divorce in our marriages. And one of them that we talked about was lack of sexual intimacy. It said earlier on that all other relationships can do whatever we want, but the only relationship there is one thing that only happens in the marriage relationship is sexual intimacy. That one it is only meant for married couples, only married couples. So if you do it outside, then you are trespassing. And one of the things that we also talked about should be frequent. It should be frequent because sex serves as a glue that binds the two together to make them one. To make them one. Because as they come together, they become one. They are no more two different people. So it is a glue that so the frequency of it and also the variety that you bring to it make the whole thing so beautiful. Okay. So it's like they are better with each other. We should make it a new thing. Let us explore each other's body. Let us bring new variety as we explore each other, new variety. Make them so unique, so beautiful. So as I was saying, we need to make frequent and we need to also bring a lot of variety to it. As we do that, our marriages will flourish, it will go forward, and it will be successful. All the things that we expect, we will be. And what we also know is it is work. Okay, it's work. It doesn't come automatic. It doesn't come as we are performing our duties, our responsibilities. All things come naturally. We don't have to leave the best on one side. We need to work with one another. It said for the mother, father, join together with the wife, the two of them become one. So if we are able to give so many come to play with it becomes so difficult for us to enjoy the joy of marriage. So we need to leave everything, come together as one, work together towards a successful marriage, towards a enjoyable marriage. As we are doing that, we will build the marriage like communication, like sexual intercourse, having a frequent sexual intimacy, and make others commitment. All these things when we put into the marriage, it goes a long way to help build a very strong, successful marriage.
Mommy, I think your line is breaking and it's making it difficult to hear what you are saying now. Yeah. But I have one question to ask. Some of us, due to our working schedule, it makes some partners very difficult to meet, especially those who run in the shift. You go to work in the morning and the husband or the other partner works in the night, so they don't meet often due to the working nature. So in this case, how can they have that frequent intimacy, talking about sex?
Thank you very much for the question. All about what we hold in high esteem. Where do you place your marriage? When it comes to your marriage, where do you? It's number one, it's number two, it's number three. Where do you place it? And also one thing that we also consider is a time that you don't create. You don't get. We need to create time for every. Yes, those things, those working schedule, it comes with challenges, but we can still work around. We need to create time for it. We have to create time for it. We need to prioritize things. Okay, yes, maybe at least that you might work in the night, your wife might be working in the day, but you don't work all the 7 days a week. By all means, you have some days that you are off. So all these things is all depends on communication, how you communicate.
This is Jafric Radio.
And how you prioritize your time, how you make time for every activity in your life. So you need to consider all these things. And all these things, you need to discuss it together with your husband and with your wife. How you are going to go about all the things that you do in your marriage, in your family, so that one place will not be lagging, while the other part you devote more time to it. Everything has to be balanced. You need to balance the whole thing so that it will keep it flowing. So that is a little I could say about that. Thank you very much.
Thank you so very much, Mommy.
This is Jafric.
Yeah, another one on the distance relationships. Yeah, or distance marriage. And this can happen that maybe 2-3 years you might not have the chance to meet your husband or your wife, and this longer period will live in our separate ways. How best, or how can one do in a situation like that? Just talking of the intimacy in sex. Yeah.
Thank you very much for that wonderful question too. Yes, some of the problems of the causes of divorce can also be trekking jobs or long distance marriages. Yes, it is possible. But one thing that we should also take into consideration, that I always say that highly honored, highly troubled. That is something that quality that taught us highly troubled.
Highly honored, highly troubled. Hi.
You need to expect a lot of challenges also. So blessings comes with troubles. Yes. So if it comes to this aspect, this is when you need to exercise self-discipline. You need to tell your mind, maybe your husband or your wife travels for 3 months. So tell your mind, within these 3 months, I need to discipline myself. So this is where, if you are a Christian, You need to put yourself in a lot of church activities. You don't have to always stay alone and be thinking about your husband or your wife. If you do that, it will great problem. Okay, so when you put yourself in such activity, you try to, how will I say it? You try to put a lot of do a lot of things. If it's a new handiworks that you learn, you can do that. You have to try and put yourself in so much activities that to take your attention from maybe that aspect. That is
This
the
is
devil
Jafric
will throw
Radio.
anything in your mind that, oh, you can go somewhere, get satisfaction, come back. Sure, your husband or your wife will not know, but all those are one. So the idle hand, the devil finds work for it. So don't stay idle. Find something to
Yeah.
find something to keep yourself busy, because that is the circumstances you find yourself. So you have to also plan a way that start.
Oh.
Chishinda.
Mommy, we have, I don't know if Chiba has also experienced a very sharp earthquake.
Yeah, everything is shaking here.
Wow. Japan for you.
Japan, yeah.
Catch up, so must stay calm.
Yeah, so those of you who are watching us in Japan now, as we are talking, there is an earthquake, so please don't run away from your room. Just stay calm. Yeah, stay calm until it gets down. Yes, viewers watching us all over the world. This is Japan for you. Sometimes we experience some earthquake in this land. You see everything is shaking. Yeah. So you should also pray for us here. Those of us in Japan, we need your prayers so much that these natural disasters will not happen to us again. Japan went on September 11th and it was so dangerous and it was really, really troublesome. So we need your prayers too. Okay, Mommy, please continue.
Yeah, I think I've finished answering your question about long distance marriage. How do you go?
Right, Mommy, you are talking about like 3 months, but some they have separated for like 8 years, 5 years, 7 years. Those kind of marriages, what can they do in order not to? I know that they are Christians, we are Christians, we have a lot of them who have disciplined themselves and have self-control, that those kind of things is out of, but how can they make the relationship work?
It is a very
difficult.
Yeah, it is really difficult, but it depends on the two people involved. Depend on the two people involved. It is difficult. Paul was saying he would advise what to do like him, but because of how the I don't know, because of how I don't know.
Yeah, I think lack of self-control.
Yeah, feeling. We yes, we have feeling in our body, right? Human is a sexual animal, so we have. So it depends on the people. If they feel staying away for years and they are okay, fine. But to me, I think something needs to be done about it. Maybe
Yeah.
then maybe free the other person, free each other. But just to go and stay, does that mean that you don't have some times that you go on holiday, schedule time that
Yeah. Yeah, one thing that I wanted to put in is the holiday, like, it's really, really important. If you have a chance to visit, I think once a while, it will work, but you could see that some people, it takes years. Seen some with 8 years, with 10 years, others 20 years. And in the middle of it, divorce set in.
Yeah, because
Yeah. So the things that we wanted to prevent, it just go out of hand. Yeah.
I think we should be considerate to consider it sometimes of maybe party who decide to go away and whatsoever reason for their own reason. But when it comes to things like toxic, and the challenge is how you be able to overcome the challenge. I think for the all the so
Mommy line has started breaking again.
hello.
Hello.
Please, can you hear me?
Oh yeah, it's okay now.
Okay, so as I was saying, it's the decision that both parties need to discuss the pros and cons of the decision about to take, and ways and means by which they'll be able to overcome the problem that may come that the decision. So the two parties involved, they can work around it. Yes, there are so many things that you can do, even with distant marriages. But with all those ones too, it comes with its own challenges, own problems. So all this needs a lot of communication, lots of discussion, how to go about it. Yeah, that is the little thing about it.
Thank you so very much, Mommy. I think we are far behind time, but we'll give ourselves like 5 minutes to another comment from our brother Colenius. He said, all these marriages, divorce is case by case issues, because when getting to the bottom of these issues, it starts with small things, and when both sides become rigid in their mind and they give up, yeah, the problem will start like minor,
Afric Radio.
but before we could realize, it gets out of hand. Yeah, so as soon as it starts, we need to find a way to trash the issues out in order not to get out of hand. Yeah, I think one of the things that Mommy said is getting closer to God. It will help you to get closer to your partner also, and to be able to fulfill your marital duties, because you are not doing it for your husband or your wife, but as you are doing it to the Lord also honor you by bringing your marriage closer, bringing the two of you closer, and you become one flesh as God has already ordained. Right. So I think it's a very good point. And most of the Christians, it's better for the family or the couple to pray together. Yeah, it helps, because if you have issues, before you go to bed, you surely know that in the morning, as soon as you wake up, you will do the Bible study and prayer. So whatever it is, you will try to solve the issue before your time of prayer comes, or even during the prayer section, you can just bring out issues. So that one too, it makes the communication very, very effective. Yeah, so we need to also develop a habit of having our prayer together as well as our Bible studies together. Yeah, Mommy, I'll give it to you, and you say your last point, and then we wrap up and go.
Okay. So thank you very much. Thank you so much. So as we said from the beginning, of course, it goes a long way to affect both parties, the whole lot of the whole nation, first the two couple, the children involved, the family, the nation, the society as a whole. Because it was the children, because children are supposed to be brought up in the security of marriage, under the security of marriage. So if it's one person who is going to take that child, it means that one aspect is missing. Go a long way to affect the children, which go a long way to affect the society as well. So we be very, very careful when it comes to the issue of divorce. That when we go to the always want to talk about divorce. As much as they try, God also wants to talk about it. Because it's not from God, it's God who made it. That's why when they want to make mention of divorce, God sent them back. But do you not know, have you not read that He who made them in the beginning made them male and female and said, for this reason a man shall leave the father and the father and be joined to his wife, and the two shall become one flesh. So it means that from the beginning, God didn't create that before. It was because of the hardness of our heart that made it that maybe in some situation it was allowed for divorce to settle.
Yeah, issue a certificate.
Yes, it was not so from the beginning. So as much as we let us try and protect our marriage. Let us try as much as get closer to God. Let us get closer to the word of God. And let us try as much as possible to live up to our expectations, our responsibilities and duties as wife, as husband, and husband as the head of the family, to be able to discharge duties as the head, and our duty as wives to be helpers, to help our husbands to reach their potential, to be able to carry on their duties and responsibilities. Let us do it. Let us not compete, because we all have what we can do and what we cannot do. We are in there to fill in the gaps of each other, to fill in the weaknesses of each other, to strengthen, to help strengthen our strength, to help bring harmony and balance into each other's life. We are able to do that and not to compete with each other. I think the blessings that is in marriage, that God Himself from the beginning He created for human beings to have that joy and peace and success and blessing, will be able to get it to the fullest. So let us try and preserve our marriage. Let us guard it, because marriage is now an endangered institution, very highly endangered. So we should wise up and try as much as possible to do all that we do to be able to protect and guard it, but living up to expectation, performing our duty and responsibilities. Thank you very much for always tuning in. that take home to home. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so very much, our cherished viewers and listeners. This brings us to the end of the session. Yeah, we promised to explain deeper about the domestic violence, but time did not permit us, so we will do it another time, either next week being the cheese version, or another week we will try and see what we can do to also look into it. It's really, really important, the domestic violence, being the verbal, physical, or emotional abuse. Yeah, we will also talk about it briefly so that we will be well informed when it happens, what we should do or how to prevent them from happening. Yes, so we will go into details about it. And we want to thank Mama Naomi so much for leaving your busy schedule
Radio.
all the time and have time for your viewers and listeners to hear what God has invested in you. Thank you so very much, Mommy, for your commitment. We do appreciate you. And viewers, we want to thank you so very much for having time for this particular program. We just want to say thank you so very much. And it's our prayer that just as you leave everything behind and come and listen to this program, may the Lord make your marriage enjoy the second heaven on earth, as it's our heart desire. Yeah, to see you laughing all the time, enjoying and having peace and harmony in your homes. Yes, we know that it will surely come to pass. Thank you so very much. The DJ for this program, without your help, this program will not come on. So we just want to say thank you so very much. And the producers of this program, Nana Yao Pop. Yes, you can call him Nana Yao Inti Efriye Enin. And then you add Pop San or Pop Sensei. I tell you, I say a woman with a long name. But this man has something. But I don't want to give that credit. All right. So viewers, thank you so very much. My name is Abna Poma Poku Foko. You can call me Dickness Poma, a lady with a long name. Today, I did this program with our wonderful Mama Naomi Asa Risotto. Until we meet again next week. Yes, with the same topic in Chi version. We say Sayo Nara.
This is Jafric Radio.
No doubt about it. Every summer change. It's been months since I felt true love. I can't deny the fact that I fall in my angel. I'm coming your dog up in there. I'm a more bakumja. I'm on my way with Senya. You don't need to rubber. Me your dog up in there. I'm a more bakumja. I'm on my way with Senya. You don't need to rubber. I'm coming your dog up in there. I'm a more bakumja. I'm on my way with Senya. You don't need to rubber. We are a dog up in there. I'm on my way with Senya. You don't need to rubber.
This is Jafric Radio. Radio.